Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Board, and today's show was filmed during our Tuesday live show, so please keep that in mind. I'm Mitchell Renz, and we are all here from Chat Sports, and we are a live interactive show. Let's go to the first one coming in from We Out Here Entertainment. Congrats, you and your fiance. Still sounds weird saying it out loud, but yeah, if you don't know, Alex and I proposed to her over the weekend, and she said yes, and Jugs wants all y'all to go spam. Congrats right now, finally engaged after 3 years. It was a crazy day. It's amazing how much time and effort you put into your best man speech. And then I still remember the whole thing, word for word. However, Alex was just crying mess the whole time, and Chuck was running around like a madman. If you want to see pics, it's on social media. Let's go to PG. Are we carrying just 2 quarterbacks this year? The Raiders have Jimmy Garoppolo, Aidan O'Connell, and Brian Hoyer. Those are going to be the 3 QBs that end up making your roster, and then Chase Garbers. I'm going to be the man that bets that he's just going to be the practice squad quarterback, but they're going to carry 3 QBs. Let's go to the next one. Coming in here from Brandon Jasper, best free agent or UDFA for what you think is our most need. I mean, you're not going to bring in another UDFA. I mean, to me, the best UDFA signing, if you want to go based off need, is probably Drake Thomas, the linebacker from NC State. Love him a lot. I gave him an A+ grade. I also do really like McClendon Curtis as well, so it's going to be a name that I continue to throw out there. In terms of best free agent available, and also you throw in price involved in that, I'd say Shaquille Griffin at corner. At linebacker, I'll go with Kyle Van Noy because he can play edge and, linebacker is probably where I'll go. Another sneaky name to keep in mind is Rashaan Evans at linebacker as well, so those would be somebody else for free agency. Dwight, Mitch, who will make a bigger impact this year, Austin Hooper or Michael Mayer? This is probably going to be an unpopular opinion, but actually, how about this? I'll give my answer while you guys are getting your answers in. Who's going to make the bigger impact, Michael Mayer or Austin Hooper? Give me an MM for the Raiders rookie who they traded up for out of Notre Dame. Or if you think it's going to be the free agent that they signed in Hooper, give me an AH. For me personally, it's going to be an unpopular opinion. I think Austin Hooper this season from a receiving standpoint will make a bigger impact. And the only reason why I say that is I go back to my old fantasy football days. Year 1 for tight ends is never a good time. I believe it's 2 times in the last 20 years there's been a rookie tight end with over 500 receiving yards. To me, Austin Hooper is going to have very close to 500, 600 receiving yards. Both players are going to have a big impact, but Jimmy G loves himself a good tight end. And luckily for him, he's got 2 of them here with the Las Vegas Raiders. So because of that, I'm going to go Hooper, but Mayer's still the better blocker. Queen Sarah Otto, everybody salute the Queen. Best defensive tackle in trades we can make. I mean, if I go out, give me some Quentin Williams, I'd be super, super hyped about that. There's no doubt about it. He'd probably be the top defensive tackle off the top of my mind where there's some rumors swirling around him. You get Quentin Williams to this interior defensive line, and we had arguments about on a rumor show, are they a top 20 defense? I think Quentin Williams is so good that he makes them a top 20 defense. Let's go to Robert. Hunter will stay. Tucker pick was to keep Renfrow off special teams. He's a top 3 slot receiver. Dumb to get rid of him, and JG needs him. It's not that I disagree that he's a top, player in terms of slot. I hear you out. But I go back, I look at last season. The Raiders did not use Hunter Renfrow. They simply did not. He had some injury concerns. They can get out of his contract, and the fact that they can save $11.6 million. But, Trey Tucker was not the move to keep him off special teams. The move to keep him off special teams is Amir Abdullah, DeAndre Carter, and Trey Tucker. That's 3 players that you can pay way, way less cheap to be maybe not the top option. Because for the Raiders, you're looking at Hunter Renfrow making $12 million. To me, he's what? He's not above Devontae. Jacoby Myers they like more. Josh Jacobs is obviously going to get his touches. Tight ends, we'll see where they work. To me, Hunter Renfrow is going to be the 4th option on your offense. And if your 4th option on offense, you can move on from him and save $11.6 million, and you already went out and added 3 other players that have special teams value, plus 2 of those guys are also slot receivers. I think the writing's kind of on the wall here with Hunter Renfrow. Let's go to Alex. Will Aidan O'Connell start a game this year? If I was a betting man, yes. It's if Jimmy Garoppolo is healthy for all 17, the answer to this one is no. But I just can't sit up here and confidently tell you all that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to play every game this season because Jimmy G hasn't played every single game since 2019. I don't even know if he played all 16 in that year. I think he played 15. So he's missed a lot of time. And I'm going to go with the over-under on Garoppolo's 12.5. That's what I'm going to go with. And then if he does end up going down, I think you put Aidan O'Connell in. Unless the Raiders are like really, really bad, then you just throw Brian Hoyer to the Wolves. Now, if you're looking for more free content here, subscribe for Raiders videos every single day. I think one of the reasons why we're popular is we're an interactive show, over 137,000 subs. And when there's big-time news, we go live. When there's big-time events like Raiders schedule release, we're going to be live for that. Raiders game days, we're live. Got a lot of fun stuff also this offseason, things that we have never done before. And I can't wait to show you all some of the stuff we have up our sleeve. Let's go to Brian. What game are you most excited for? I'm going to give you the cliche answer. I'm going to give you week 1. The Raiders need to focus on week 1. They need to win that game, and then they need to go to week 2. I'm obviously always excited, though, for AFC West games. Chugs and I, we were talking about this earlier. He said the Broncos. Broncos games here on the Raiders Report, they get a little bit wild, but so did the Texans game last year as well. Let's go to Barry. Extend Jacobs for 2 years. Use the money saved from cutting Renfrow after June as part of the new contract. I do think part of the money that they used to cut Renfrow, or you're not going to cut Renfrow, you're going to trade Renfrow. The money that you saved there is about $11.6 million. That money should go to Josh Jacobs, and I'm 100% on board with that. So you give him that money. To me, though, I don't think Jacobs ends up taking a 2-year deal, because he's going to want more money. He's going to want some guarantees, which is why I think the 3-year deal that I have cooked up a few times is the one that makes the most sense. Let's go to Hank_T. You're on the Raiders Report. Thoughts on adding Markus Golden? I know earlier in this mailbag I was asked about, a free agent or UDFA that the Raiders should go out and get. Markus Golden was another player that I put out, I'm going to say like a week ago, in terms of the top 10 free agents that I could see the Raiders adding. And what's really important to this Raiders team? Do they have a connection? Markus Golden played with Patrick Graham a few years ago with the New York Giants. So because of that, Golden, edge, linebacker type of hybrid player, hybrid versatility, connection, all those reasons why, yes, I do think that the Raiders should go out and at least look at Markus Golden. How about this? So let's say you don't like Golden. Let's say you don't like some of the players that I've discussed on today's show or past shows. You call the shots around here. You're Ziegler, you're McDaniels. I want you to name a player that you want the Raiders to go out and sign right now. This next one's rolling in here from Yesemina Montoya. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Mitch, you think we will make the playoffs if Jimmy stays healthy? I mean, even if Jimmy plays the entire season, that's not the question. The question is, can Jimmy Garoppolo stay healthy? And on top of that, can your defense play at a high level? Because if your defense is bottom 12 with Garoppolo, no, I don't think that this offense is going to be able to click at a high enough rate for you to be that successful. The defense needs to be around that 15 mark. If you can get a 15th ranked defense, then yes, this team has a shot to make the playoffs. Everybody has a shot to make the playoffs. Look at the Seahawks. Everyone thought they were going to be terrible. They ended up making the playoffs. Let's go to a GOAT here, Rebel Montana. If Jacobs doesn't sign his tag, how much would you offer him if you're the front office? The deal that I will continue to go with is 3 years, $38.4 million. $8 million guaranteed. $15.2 million guaranteed. That $15.2 not guaranteed. So he's at a cheaper amount this season. Yeah, he's going to make a little bit more, but the salary cap's going to go up. You also don't have over $30 million in dead cap hit at your running back position, and you need to have a good RB, whether it's with Jimmy Garoppolo or it's going to be your rookie quarterback that you bring in. I don't know who it is. You need Josh Jacobs there for at least 2 years. That's what I think is the best plan for the Raiders, and that's come from me, someone who doesn't believe in paying running backs. Let's go to Brian. Has anyone got their corn shirt? Mine says 5 more days. Well, if you want your Josh McDaniels Eats Corn the Long Way shirt, you can get it at chatsports.com/corn. This has been a lot bigger success than I ever thought it would, so shout out to all of y'all that have supported this whole show, and shout out to everyone who gets a shirt because it does go to help out the Raiders Report. Now, if I didn't get to your question, remember, you can always hit me up on Twitter. You can always hit me up on Instagram. Also, huge shout out to Little the Savior. Pops wanted you to get a jersey, so if you're watching this live, I wore the dad and I wore the son jersey today on the Raiders Report. Friendly reminder, the easiest way to stay up to date with the Raiders news also, not only is subscribing to YouTube, but it's to also give me a follow on Twitter at Mitchell Renz 365.